Mondays with Mark. If you're watching on Facebook, please share our program so all your friends can watch along with you. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure and subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a Mondays with Mark. And welcome to Mondays with Mark. This week at marklowry.com, the first 10 orders receive 40% off of the entire order with promo code FLASH40. You get 40% off the first 10 orders. Run on over there, but do it on a separate page so you don't lose the program. I don't know why she does these kind of offers where they have to leave. Oh, yeah. Let's say, hey, everybody coming in.
Hey.
Well, he's got the whole world in his hands. 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 I'll sing it again. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got the little bitty baby. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, sister, in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Oh, the whole world. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 One more time. He's got the whole world in his hands. I just made up that.
We didn't practice that one.
We didn't practice that. Colleen,
Yes.
we are 6 feet apart.
We are.
But our
Yay.
shirts match.
Yeah, we have matching clothes.
Philip didn't get the memo.
He didn't get it.
How's everybody? Oh, listen, Robert McRae says sing, sing, sing. I hope you were singing along, Robert. And Cheryl Ennis said, love you guys. Isn't it good to have, what's your name? Colleen and Philip back?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I've been checking on y'all every day without them. And Gloria Price says we sound good. Thank you, Gloria Price. We've been working on this sound over here, trying to get it right. But, you know, we're no Bill Gaither Trio or the Singing Rambos, but
we're better.
We're free talent tonight. We're better. Colleen, don't become proud.
I'm not.
Hey, what about?
Joke.
Oh, and also listen, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, the Easters are going to be going live March 24th, 7 p.m., which will be 6 p.m. Central if you're over here in Texas or one of those areas. Mm-hmm. And I love Jeff and Sherry. And how is Bubba doing? Somebody wants to know. I just saw that fly by. Bubba is well. He's at home and at his house, and he's recuperating, and his numbers are down or whatever it's supposed to be. It's better. Whatever's better, that's what he is. Give me a little music for this next one we're going to do. And I was just reading. Hold on. Let me get this out of the way. Of course, in this book, I love this. Then Sings My Soul by Robert J. Morgan. There's several of these out, but I was reading about this one. The idea for this song came from Anthony Showalter in 1887. He was principal of the Southern Normal Musical Institute in Dalton, Georgia, and he kept it up with his students. You know, he had gospel sing-alongs and what's going on back here? I can see what you are doing back there. Don't think you can talk to each other. A school teacher should know better.
Sorry. Well, they're the worst when it's talking.
Anyway, he had
he kept up with his students. You know, he had these singing schools. So anyway, 2 letters had arrived, both from former pupils. Each of the young men was heartbroken, having not just lost his wife, having just lost their wives, both of them. And so he was thinking, what can I do to encourage them? And he came to Deuteronomy 33:27. The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. And you know what we're going through with this virus? Hey, underneath are the everlasting arms, no matter what we go through. And so he wrote this: what a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arms. What a blessedness, what a peace is mine, leaning on the everlasting arms. Sing, leaning, leaning, safe and secure from all alarm. Leaning, leaning, leaning on the everlasting arms. What have I've already sung that one? What have I to dread? What have I to fear? Leaning on the everlasting arms. I have blessed peace with my Lord so near, leaning on the everlasting arms. Well, I am leaning, leaning, safe and secure from all alarm. Leaning, leaning, leaning on the everlasting arms. And there's within my heart a melody, Jesus whispers sweet and low. Fear not, I am with thee, peace, be still, in all of life's ebb and flow. Sing it. Jesus, 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 sweetest name I know, fills my every longing, fills my every longing, keeps me singing as I go. Here's another verse. Well, soon he's coming back to welcome me, far beyond the starry sky. I shall wing my flight to worlds unknown. I shall reign with him on high. Sing, Jesus, 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 sweetest name I know, fills my every longing, keeps me singing as I go, keeps me singing as I go, keeps me singing as I go. Oh, learning to lean. Oh, you know what? First of all, Colleen and I match. Have you noticed? Does this match?
Yeah, it's
Pretty
matching.
much.
Pretty much.
And what's first, before we sing anymore, what's going on with your school? You've been shut down.
Well, I have. You know, I was out March the 9th for the spring break, March 9th through 13th.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they said, okay, we're not coming back this week. And now it's been extended till April the 13th after Easter.
Wow.
But the principal, we're having meetings, you know, on Zoom. We're having like group meetings.
Huh.
And the principal said, somebody asked him today, are we still planning to go back on the 13th? And he said, we're not sure. So it's just kind of, you know.
So you may be already retired.
Well, kind of. I mean, I don't know when we're going to go back. So I'm just.
But you're going to teach online, right?
Yeah, we're supposed to do training on Friday. And then we will be able to do a survey with our students to see who needs maybe who needs tablets or computers or whatever. Just start doing some online training, yeah, or remote learning is what they call it.
Well,
So, yeah.
Catherine Pierce said Zoom is great for meetings. I'm not real familiar with Zoom, but it might be cool to check it out.
Yeah.
I thought Colleen had retired. No, Barbara Davis, she hasn't yet.
This was supposed to be my year to
This
retire.
was supposed to be, but the corona.
Oh, wow.
Hello from North Carolina.
This will definitely be a memorable retirement. You know,
Memorable everything.
I know
What,
it for
Philip?
everyone.
Memorable everything.
Right.
So how's everything in your world, Philip?
Well, you know, just keeping tabs on my mom and dad.
Mhm.
Are they doing
My
good?
dad's in a nursing home, so
Oh, yeah.
try to call him and keep him up.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Your-
so you can't go
Yeah.
visit him, right?
Your
No,
mom can't even
That's been
go.
going on long before this. Yeah, a couple of days before this all started.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I FaceTime Mother. I FaceTime her several times a day just to say hey.
Yeah.
You know, just to
Check
make
on
sure she's doing okay and she's staying home and
Yeah.
and doing okay. So, how's your dad, Mark?
My dad's good. He's hanging in there. You know, he's 88 and just still trying to figure out a way to make $1 million. At 88, jumping on every multi-level marketing bandwagon that comes through town.
Oh,
You can
Lord.
count on Charles Lowry to sell your snake oil. And I love that old man. He's crazy in the head, but he tries
Oh,
to sell
Lord.
stuff that anyway. But hey, Colleen's going to sing the lead on this one. And sing along at home now. We're not here we're not professionals. We're just having fun. So sing along at home.
Learning to lean. I'm learning to lean. I'm learning to lean on Jesus, finding more power than I'd ever dreamed. I'm learning to lean on Jesus.
Let's sing it again.
Learning to lean. I'm learning to lean. I'm learning to lean on Jesus, finding more power than I've ever dreamed. I'm learning to lean on Jesus.
Man, you know what, Philip? Play that one time.
Learning to lean, learning to lean. I'm learning to lean on Jesus, finding more power than I've ever dreamed. I'm learning to lean on Jesus.
That's pretty.
Love
Well,
that
y'all,
song.
I hope this time together, this time of 6 feet apart is a time when you can check in on people, call people, get the phone going again. Remember back in the days when people would literally call each other? That's something you can do. And you can check out my guests tonight. You're going to love these 3 boys. I'd never heard of them. 3 brothers. But Q Phillips told me about them, and Daniel Ball had told Q about them. I love how this all just works. One person tells another person, tells another person. The next thing you know, you get to meet some great kids. But before we do that, I want to let you know that at 8 o'clock tonight, right after Mondays with Mark, we're premiering another episode of Season 3 of Dinner Conversations. And here's a little teaser. It's Wynonna Judd as our special guest.
My unraveling, everybody says, oh, I had a mental breakdown. I call it an unraveling because of Brene. She taught me that unraveling is such a visual. Mm-hmm. I've had to unravel all the years with Mom on the road just because of the circumstance, just because of the expectation and the looking at me, oh, well, you're the youngest punk in the room. You don't know anything. Telling me what to do. I was so codependent and such a people pleaser. I've been in recovery from that for years, perfectionism, the whole thing. We don't know whether it's good or bad in the moment, do we? Mm-hmm. It's not until we're looking back 10 years later and go, that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
And that's part of my, I say ministry because I'm going into the prisons and in all the places I don't want to really be. And I know they need to hear something.
How is that happening?
It's happening because I'm being called and I have no other way than to say I'm answering the call. I swear to you, I had people before answer the call and they'd filter it and it'd come to me and does it work in your schedule? Now it's me going, okay, January 1 or 2, I go into this prayerful state. I know it's very holy. No, I'm just begging God for direction. I'm saying, I literally heard this from my mom and I make fun of her little Hallmark card sayings because she's got them down. She's been doing it. She's like Lucille Ball, right? She's got her shtick.
Yeah.
I said, God, and I want to just ask for what you're blessing. I mean, ask you to do your thing and bless what I'm doing. I want to do what you're blessing. And the next thing I know, I'm getting called by people like you and people who say, come over and do this. And I'm like, no, it's too vulnerable. It's too, But then that little voice, that mama voice says, let them see the cracks in your armor. That's how the light gets out.
Oh, did your mother say that?
Yes.
That's a great one.
And that's a great one.
I am so excited today to meet a brand new group that Daniel Ball had told me about. They're called the 3 Heath Boys or Brothers? Brothers. Now, I would presume the one in the middle is the oldest?
Yes, by 2 years. Yeah. 2 years, yeah.
Okay, tell us your names.
So I'm Clayton, and I'm the second oldest. And this is Nicholas. And this is Christian, and he's the second oldest by 10 minutes. They're twins.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. So, and there are other siblings in your family, correct?
There are. We have Natalie, she's 11 years old, and Noah is 9 years old. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, do they sing?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Yeah. Sometimes whenever they travel with us, they do sing.
Well, how cool. Now, how did you get started? Tell me how this happened.
Well, our mom taught us to sing, actually, before we were in kindergarten.
We were in diapers, actually, but I mean.
Okay, I guess we were in diapers. But she didn't really intend for us to be some group that was really never, like, something that we wanted to be. But then God just kept on opening doors. And she actually would sit us around on bar stools and just hum notes to us. She doesn't play the piano. So we would do a lot of a cappella. And then churches started calling us, and now we're traveling.
That is fantastic. And I guess your dad is the one standing behind the microphone or the camera?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Mark.
Let's see. Hey, good to see you too. Well, this is fantastic. I think that, can y'all sing something for us?
Yes,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, let's see.
When my life work is ended and I cross the swelling tide, when the bright and glorious morning
I shall see, I shall see, I shall know my Redeemer when I reach the other side. And his smile will be the first to welcome me. I shall know him. I shall know him, and redeemed by his side I shall stand. I shall know him. I shall know him by the print of the nails in his hand. It will be worth it all when we see Jesus.
Oh, yes.
Life's trials will seem so small when we see Christ. One glimpse of his dear face, all sorrow will erase. So bravely run the race till we see Christ. Through the gates of that city, in a robe of spotless white, he will lead me where no tears will ever fall. How my full heart shall praise him for his mercy, love, and grace. And I long to meet my Savior first of all. One glimpse of his dear face, all sorrow will erase. So bravely run the race till we see Christ. We shall know him.
Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting to get torn up now. What was the okay, you know the first song was written by Fanny Crosby, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And you know the story behind that song, right?
She wanted Jesus to be the first person she saw, right?
Well, what happened was she was walking down the street. This is the way I heard it. Could be true, could not be true. It's still a great story. But I heard, and I've heard it my whole life. She's blind, you know, and she was being led down the street, and somebody was standing on a street corner saying, I am the Christ, I am Jesus, I am the risen one. And she said, take me over to him. And her leader, whoever was walking with her, led her over to the gentleman who was claiming to be Christ. And she said, let me feel your hands. And she felt his hands, and there were no nail prints in his hands. And she said, oh, you're not my Savior. And she wrote home and wrote, I shall know him, the song you sang, I shall know him as redeemed. Man, what a great song. And then you went into
It will be worth it all.
oh,
When
when
we see
you
Jesus.
went in, I wasn't expecting that. And that's when I thought, I'm going to need a tissue. It will be worth it all.
Amen.
Gosh, when we see Jesus, isn't that the truth?
Yes, it is. And we've like we said, we never intended for this to happen or to be some group, but we wanted to tell you this past year we had the opportunity to to sing gospel songs in over 40 public high schools, to sing to over 15,000 high school students.
Wow.
And we'd go in there, and one kid, I think his name was Justin,
Justin
right?
was his name.
We
yeah.
walked in there, and after we got done singing, he came up to Clayton, I think it was, and said, "Hey, would you please pray for me? I just got taken out of my home by child services for child abuse by my parents."
Mhm.
And we got to sing songs like that in those public high schools, and that just lit our fire even more for God, because to get to see those kids who had never felt the presence of God
And
like
these
that.
were public high schools?
Public
Yes, sir.
high schools. We
Yes,
can't
sir.
even actually tell you. We can't pray in the high schools,
Right.
and we can't even tell you what state it's in, because there would be organizations that would try to stop us from going in there. But
we can give our testimony, and we can sing whatever songs we want.
And you could sing the song you just sang?
we can sing the song we just sang.
Can you
And we-
sing another one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, let's hear another one.
All right. Would you like it in English or in Spanish?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Do one in Spanish. Why not? But and then go into English, because our people, I have ADD. I don't know how long I can take that.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll try. It's like.
Cuando gloriosa será la mañana, cuando venga Jesús el Salvador, las naciones unidas como hermanas, bienvenidas daremos al Señor. No habrá necesidad de la luz y el resplandor, ni el sol hará su luz, ni tampoco su calor. Ahí entonces no habrá ni tristeza ni dolor, porque entonces Jesús el Rey del cielo para siempre será consolador, para siempre será consolador.
Oh, guys, that is so great. And I know my Spanish audience will appreciate it.
Yes.
There's got to be someone out there listening who knows Spanish. Hey, so you speak 2 languages or more? How many?
No, actually we don't. A lot of people think that we're Latino, but we aren't.
You are
Our
not.
mom actually grew up as a missionary's kid in Guatemala, Central America. And so, but she's not Spanish, but my grandpa's part Indian, so that's where people kind of think we're Latino or something like
Comanche, if you want to know. But,
that. So that song, we know it's a Christian song, but we actually don't know what we're actually singing.
Yeah.
But
All right, sing another one. You know what you're saying. Let's hear one.
all right,
Okay.
Selfless? Sure, let's
Yeah. Okay.
do something a little more upbeat. They say humility doesn't come naturally, and I find that to be true. Cause there's a lot of pride, and me, myself, and I still got some growing up to do. Cause if I wanna find the very best life, I've gotta learn to die to myself. Cause there's freedom to be found when I stop and look around and think about someone else. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. Cause if I wanna live like Jesus, gotta learn to love like he does. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. It's not a song about beating myself down, cause I'm living under grace. For God so loved the world so much that I'm free to do the same. Cause if I wanna find the very best life, I've gotta learn to die to myself. Cause there's freedom to be found when I stop and look around and think about someone else. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. Cause if I wanna live like Jesus, gotta learn to love like he does. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. Love God, love people, love people, so hard, so simple, so simple. Love God, love people, love
So hard, so simple, so simple. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. Cause if I wanna live like Jesus, gotta learn to love like he does. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less. It's not about thinking less of myself, just thinking of myself less.
Oh, that is fantastic. Did you write that?
No, our mom found that somewhere. Yeah. Our mom is actually the one who arranges all of our music.
Okay.
But
Well, she does a very good job.
Thank you.
Oh.
We actually, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You actually what?
We actually have you to thank for us being here because our parents' first date was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I think it was, and it was to a Mark Lowry concert.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Your parents' first date was to a Mark Lowry concert, and now,
I think
so
he
really,
showed-
you're my children.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. It wouldn't have gone well, then we wouldn't be here. So
that's
it's
right.
because of you, basically.
We have you to thank. Thank you
Well,
so much.
I received that. Well, I can't wait to meet you guys. Now, where do y'all live?
We live in Thomasville, North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And tell me your names. Go down the list one more time and give me your first names.
Okay. So I'm Clayton.
Clayton. Okay, got it.
Yes, sir. And I'm Nicholas.
Nicholas.
And Christian.
Christian. At
Yes,
least
sir.
there's one Christian amongst y'all.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
he says.
I'm
He
the-
says he's the only Christian.
I'm the only Christian in my family. No, it doesn't apply like that. You know,
Well,
it's-
I would love to see you guys do a concert sometime. If you ever get to Houston, please let me know. 'Cause
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
I love the excitement. I love the harmony, and I wish you the best. The three Heath Brothers.
Yes, sir.
And
So
they
the
can-
number three, Heath, like the candy bar.
Right.
Yeah,
Brothers.
And then the
Yeah.
brothers. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that is it. Also, 3heathbrothers.com.
Yes, 3heathbrothers.com, and we're also on Facebook. You just look up 3 Heath Brothers. We're on
YouTube.
all of that stuff.
Yeah. And the stuff. Yeah.
God bless you guys.
You
Thank you
too.
so much.
What great guys! Weren't they good? Didn't y'all enjoy that? Can't wait to meet them somewhere down the road. Someone keeps saying, Mark, you need to arrange for them to go to Houston. I'd love to, Betty. We need to figure out a church that will have them. You know, all the churches are shut down right now. Watching from Saskatchewan, I was born and raised, Teresa B. says she's born and raised there too, North Carolina. Well, y'all, we want you to remember one thing as we close Mondays with Mark. First of all, next week, Lisa Daggs will be my special guest. Google her, Lisa Daggs, D-A-G-G-S, and you can get to know her a little bit before she shows up here next Monday night. And I was going to meet those boys in person, but because of the virus, I didn't go to Nashville. So we just all got to hunker down. And next week, it looks like Houston may be, you know, in Oregon. My friend Terry Garland, who's probably watching, sent me that the governor in Oregon has, what do you call it? Told everybody to stay home and quarantined, and you better not leave, and it's a misdemeanor if you're caught out there. So it's gonna be a bad week, y'all, but you just remember this. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his. He's got you and me. He's got you and me in his hands. He's got you and me in his hands. He's got you and me in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world. Sing the chorus again. In his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's Well, I love you guys, and I want to see you here next week. Don't forget, we'll be here at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll have a good time in the Lord. Colleen may be on Skype from her house, but we'll be doing it Monday night, 7 p.m. Central. Mondays with Mark, no matter what happens, unless the Lord comes, and Colleen will be on her own. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Mondays with Mark. We'll see you next Monday night, 7 p.m. Central, right here, wherever you saw our program. YouTube, be sure and like us and ring the bell. Facebook, please share our program. And we will see you next Monday night, 7 p.m. Central, for another Mondays with Mark.